name and just kind of transitioned it to title escrow. So, and Virginia, you're absolutely correct. Engagement is key. You can't, it's not a one-way street, so you can't just stalk people on Instagram. You have to engage. If you want followers, if you want people to engage with you, they first need to see who you are so that they can like and follow you and engage. They're going to know you online long before they know who you are when they actually see you. So that's their way of being able to look at you in a crowd and kind of gauge, are you someone that they think that they can vibe with? And so they're going to follow you and they're going to watch you, but they're only going to be able to get exposed to you if you're engaging on Instagram. So you really do, as you're putting your post up there, you need to be liking other people's, you need to be commenting other people's, you need to do what you want people to do for you. And then you are absolutely correct. When you're doing that, you're actually sending the algorithms, you're telling the algorithms, hey, I'm pretty social. And so there's people probably out there who want to connect with me. And so please connect them with me. And that's how it's going to happen. So good.
Thank you, Tina. Yeah, it really is that. And I tend to let some things, like I might not post as often. And then when I realize, oh my gosh, maybe like a week or two has gone by and I haven't posted anything, I go right back in there and then I start going to other people's other profiles and liking and commenting. And then that's how I get that audience back onto my profile. You'll see that when you don't use it as often, that's when your posts start falling behind. And the only way to do that is either use it on a daily basis, or you have to do that interaction with other profiles in order for your feed to come through on their side as well. So just keep that in mind when you are using your Instagram posts. Right now, the other thing that's really popular, what you'll tend to get a lot, and let me see if I can show you this on my screen. So if I were to go just to like look at other people, other profiles, see these things up here, these are stories, right? And so instead of going through and getting on this feed, when you create a story, you're automatically going to be on this the very top circles. And
I think we lost you for a minute, Virginia.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we got you on pause for a second.
Well, I wish I was in Tahoe.
Me too. I'd like to be in Tahoe right about now. It's probably beautiful. Although, is there a fire up there?
That I heard of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope not.
There is a fire. I just came back from there last week and it was starting.
Really, one? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a fire up there. It started to get pretty smoky the day we left.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, I don't like the smoke part. But I guess we'll just wait till Virginia comes back on, which should be momentarily. As you know, her internet was a little dicey and a little unstable, so I'm sure she'll just jump back on as soon as she can. But I'm more of a Facebook gal than an Instagram gal, but I gotta tell you, Instagram is also the way to go. I just know that with video, you can make it a lot of fun. And I just thought I'd interject myself there just because we do so many classes on this. So there she is.
sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I had to switch. Yeah, the hotel internet's not cutting it, so I'm on my own stuff. Anyhow, I know I cut out around the video or the stories. Mona, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just basically saying videos are a thing and Instagram is really great. So, you know, I'm more of a Facebook person, but Instagram is definitely the way to go. Just like James, I've hired, you know, luckily, if you have somebody that's young around you, a little younger than me, which is a whole lot younger, you know, they're really great because my daughter runs our entire social media section and whew, content. That's all I have to say. But Virginia, back to you.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of her posts. She does a lot of videos, right?
Yes,
yeah.
We do a lot of those, a lot of videos, and then she drags me in it. That's all I gotta say. She drags me in it. can we do this? I'm like, stop. But nope, got to keep going. So as much, just so you guys know, as much as you think, oh, you must like being on video. No, I'm being dragged, but I love it though, because at the same time, it's a great way to connect. So Virginia is right all over that in regards to, making sure that you stay connected. Oh, and one big thing, stop selling. That was the other thing we got big advice on. Stop selling. We get it. You sell real estate. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Virginia. You're back.
Okay. So here is, here's Sip and Scoop's story. So like I said, your stories will last for 24 hours. You can delete them beforehand if you'd like to, but they'll stay on there for 24 hours. And then you could go and you can see who's liked it, who's commented, whatever the interaction is. It's really nice to have them because it comes up right on the very top of the app. So when somebody opens Instagram, the stories are going to be one of the first things that they see. So use them. And it doesn't have to be, just like Mona was saying, stop selling. Like you don't have to, it doesn't have to always be about real estate. It doesn't have to be about a listing that you have coming up. I feel like you're going to lose, and we can see it on our side. When you start paying attention to your post, you're going to see that on your own side, that a lot of the time when you're doing that kind of hard sell, you're not going to get as much interaction as you are when you post a picture of your, like whatever your hobbies are, or you going out and doing something kind of like on a personal level. You'll get more interaction that way. When you're doing something funny, like any post or a story that's, has some humor behind it, you'll get more interaction that way. So it doesn't always have to be like a hard sell in real estate. You kind of want to put your personality behind what you're posting, so that you get more interaction from people. So Sip and Scoop tends to repost. There you go. That's a perfect example. So they reposted, oh, and that's perfect because she's in real estate, isn't she? I want to say her name is Nicole or something like that. So the other thing that is nice to do is if you're posting something about a business and you happen to tag them in your post, most of the time what you'll find is the businesses will repost your post. So right here, Gypsy Mogul Mama, which I believe is Nicole, she posted her picture at Sip and Scoop and tagged them. And then they reposted her picture, or they reposted her post on their story, right? So now all of a sudden, everybody that follows Sip and Scoop is now going to see Nicole on there. So if they wanted to, they can click on Nicole's profile and they'll see that she's in real estate. And you kind of want to do that too, because it'll drag more people into your profiles to see, like, to introduce kind of like your business, your profile to them. So you want to do that, as use that to your benefit, like tag other businesses where you're at, so that in hopes that they will also repost your post and it'll get out to their audience.
It's so true, Virginia. Can I just say something? So I just kind of go back to my daughter again. So she tagged, she was doing some clothing and she tagged the label, the lady, I guess, who did it. And then because she was so popular, they went ahead and, put it out on their Instagram. So you're 100% right. It's really a great way, kind of like a off beaten path way to get, to really collaborate in a way.
Yeah. And like, I'll share a hint with you. What I do is I tend to use the hashtag downtown Brentwood pretty often in what I post. And when I do a story or when I do a post, I will also tag the downtown Brentwood account, and they tend to repost a lot of what others are posting. So, and of course, hashtag downtown Brentwood is a pretty popular hashtag. So if you're ever doing that, that'll get you out there as well. I can tell you that they do repost a lot of people's posts and stories. So use that to your benefit. Either use hashtag downtown Brentwood or the @ symbol and then downtown Brentwood. They'll repost a lot of your stuff, and they have a lot of followers. So, and that hashtag has a lot of followers as well. So that definitely will help you guys out. Any other suggestions or any questions that you guys might have about hashtags, stories, the analytics, before we get into now like the more advanced use of Instagram for real estate? And you guys feel free to unmute yourself and ask, because I really can't see like who's raising hands if you guys are doing that right now. Okay, I'm going to stop my share.
How about hashtag get it done? Get on Instagram, just do it.
Virginia, I will say, you know, I'm not big on Instagram, but obviously Tina is like one of the best I've ever seen, even though she has to curtail and change that slightly for title and escrow to be legal and legit. But yes, she is a video queen, like you said. She can put videos inside of videos. She's got multiple apps. She'll be a good candidate for that advanced class and probably could teach that herself. So, but it's pretty exciting. But the one thing I will say that Tina taught me is that I always thought it was just about photos, and it's not. And it's not for just the young, it's for the older people. And like I said, just not about videos. It's about so much more than that, or more than pictures. Sorry. A lot of people just think of it as for pictures, right? And that it's gone in 24 hours. So yeah. So Matt, are you using it yet?
I use it occasionally.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm just waiting for the next presenters to jump on. I don't think that I saw their join just yet, but I know that they're going to be coming on here. What's that?
Virginia, I was just going to say, is it appropriate now or maybe in the next one about how Instagram can connect to your Facebook?
Oh yeah, no, we can totally do that right now.
Okay.
So when you're in your account settings on Instagram, or when you're signing up for Instagram, it'll ask you if you want to link any of your other kind of social media apps to it, accounts. And Facebook is the one that they're going to do, because Facebook and Instagram are like one. So you should, I think that it's a good idea to integrate both of them, use them both. And so what you'll usually find is that when you're making a post on Instagram, it'll ask you if you want it to also post onto Facebook. So you're not having to go to two separate apps and do the uploading or posting yourself. What you do is once you post it onto Instagram, it'll automatically send it to your Facebook account that you have linked. And then that post will be on there as well. So I know it's funny with like the demographics of Instagram versus Facebook. Like it tends to be a lot younger. The younger crowd is the one that's using Instagram, and then like the next age group up will be using Facebook. So I feel like it's wise to use both. That way you're capturing both audiences, but you will definitely see where your main business comes from. Mine tends to come from Instagram. So anytime I'll make a post, and I will usually get, like 2 or 3 comments or private messages off of a post. And then they'll just say like, oh, hey, I wanted to know, like, can we meet? We have questions about buying a house. We're not trying to do it now, but we'll, whatever. And then I'll get the actual appointments from them. So it is very useful for me. I see that I do get business using Instagram, and it really doesn't even have to do with like making a business post. It could be something like when Ro and I go out hiking, and I'll just post like real estate gals or something. And of course I'll get messages off of that about whatever real estate questions they have. So it definitely helps. And I did see John get on.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I have a much better Zoom setup in my office, but it's next to my kitchen, which they're like making a ton of noise in. We're renovating it right now, so I'm hiding out in my
No
bedroom.
problem. So let me introduce you guys. So John is probably a familiar face to most of you, because he used to be out in our area. So I follow John, and I love his posts. I think they're hilarious. I get to see his family side in them. And then of course he throws in his business stuff in there too. He's one of the accounts that I like to follow. He's always has something interesting to say. And I think his wife is gorgeous, and I'm always commenting on her hair. Anyhow, so I reached out to John because I I just like the way that I love the interaction that he has and the followers, his followers and everybody that comments and stuff. So I reached out to John to help us do more of the advanced side of real estate or Instagram for real estate. And we were able to get somebody that is very well known out in the Greater Bay Area that has been making a huge impact with his hashtag. Like, it's so crazy. You don't even have to know anything else, but it's like the one hashtag you see, and then everybody would know what it is. So I'm really glad that we were able to get him on. He's pretty popular. So I'm excited that he's going to get to share a lot of his tips and tricks for using Instagram for real estate. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce John Gomez and Kenny Trung.
Oh, thanks for the introduction, Virginia. Yeah, I don't know what much to say. I'll let Kenny kind of speak to himself. Virginia reached out to me about, she asked if I could speak about Instagram on a panel for you guys, and I was happy to, but I also said I work with Kenny, and I've been to plenty of panels where he's spoken about it. He's been his Inman Awards and all kinds of different things on how he uses technology, and these days he uses it a ton to just get referral business from all over the country, and he's really built a personal brand. I will kick it over to him. I also asked, we have an agent on our team who's been doing a ton of really cool stuff with reels and video lately. And I know that's really popular. So I asked her to jump in at some point too. Her name's Kate Hudson, but I think people will probably have questions about reels and video, but reels specifically. So when she jumps on, we can talk to her too, but I'll turn it over to Kenny.
Hey guys, didn't really have an agenda. John asked me to speak about Instagram. I've been using Instagram for I think 11 years now to really build my business. Started this hashtag Fast Agent, I think about 9 years ago, and a couple of years ago evolved into this thing called Team Fast, and now we have a brokerage, Fast Real Estate, brokered by eSpeed, with about 155 team members, and we brought on 130 team members in last year. I would probably attribute maybe 80% of the growth due to social media. Our team is pretty active on there. We're constantly, reposting each other or putting out interesting content to create engagement with other agents for referrals. And kind of like how Virginia, you saw John's stuff, it was interesting to create those opportunities for just have a conversation.
So yeah, I don't know if you want to just go through specific questions or what you want to talk about, like how it works for us. Like if you follow Kenny, stories are a huge part of his Instagram game. I mean, he barely actually posts. It's like mostly stories, but yeah, however you want to go, if you want to just run.
Please explain like stories and how, and like how you choose your content, and then what you see in the interaction from it. Which ones are good, which ones are kind of like mediocre, just so that everybody kind of has an idea of like where to start, what to do, what to post.
Yeah, I think to create engaging content, you're creating stuff that educates and entertains. So like every morning, I'm not full routine, but like I subscribe to really cool newsletters like Morning Brew or The Hustle or Inman, or locally maybe SF Business Times, or like, cool news articles. So every morning I make an effort to post something that people didn't know about, to kind of like help them in their business. Like motivational quotes and that stuff is pretty cool, but I think it's, let me try to see what I actually posted today. Let's see. This morning, like I got up and I saw there's a commercial real estate conference. I posted about that for people to join. Like Clubhouse is now out of beta. Now it's public to everyone. And I just did a survey who's still on Clubhouse and had like random people voted. There's 33 people that are not on Clubhouse, 6 that are on. So like you're just creating interesting topic that maybe people didn't know about. I think it's important to kind of be the first to let people know about information. Another like and to make people really think, like give an example, Tesla today, and none of this is really the cool part about like why this stuff works is none of this, not all of this is necessarily related to real estate. Tesla just announced that it's opening a supercharger networks to other EV companies. It's made a piece of decision. So Tesla is talking about what, they can continue to dominate and just service their own vehicles, or they can open it more. So I thought I asked a pretty good question. I was like, would you rather want a small piece of big pie or a big piece of small pie? So about 10 people voted in, it's about equal. So like a lot of stuff I post to kind of just make people think and learn about what's going on. So you want to be like their news source. A lot of it too, you're going through is like kind of highlighting what our team has done, or they tag me on something to make people very excited about real estate. This is kind of funny materials. I did a podcast with the #1 agent in California last year and reshared that. This is an agent of my team writing offer out. So this is kind of like a lot of this is like behind the scenes stuff. This is, I would say, motivation, kind of more common motivational posts that that relate to me. We started Monday.com. John's leading that. We've been talking about Monday.com for a while now. It's a huge platform operating thing for us to help with onboarding and backend systems. Because this year our team is selling over 1,000 homes this year, and that's where we use. That was the. I talk about recruiting a lot too, and other agents are interested in that. See, this is the clubhouse thing I mentioned. So every day the content changes, but it's something like interesting or thought provoking. I feel is why people tune in. We announced that we're doing a squad battle thing, like a wild and out script battle thing at our office in 2 weeks. And there's Elias is pretty hyped about that. And we recorded that this morning to make the announcement. So again, entertaining. Here's us. We did almost 100 deals in the last 7 weeks, and we showcased our team doing that. So this is the stuff that I think other agents are interested about. You know, some of it's real estate, some of it's pretty fun, but a lot of it is entertaining or makes people think. And I really don't post on my wall. I think I post on my wall like maybe 4 times this whole year.
Yeah, and when we talk, I mean, I think the main thing that to get from that is just like keep it engaging and just keep people engaged in your account and in your stories and be consistent. And you don't need to overthink it too much and plan out your content. Just be consistently posting and kind of have some of the same themes. And there's always just like an underlying tone of real estate in there, because if people are following you, like they know you're a real estate agent. You don't need to post consistently just like straight up real estate content. But if you post engaging content, they will engage with you and you'll stay top of mind as a real estate professional. And that when something pops up, like they'll reach out to you. Like I posted a couple on my wall, but for like a month I posted, just sold, just listed. But other than that, I never do. I rarely ever post like direct real estate content, but I post kind of like, stuff in the background about like behind the scenes type stuff and little things that remind people that I'm in real estate, but not like I'm never too busy for referrals or whatever. And that totally works for people. Like having that very direct, like, I would love to help your friends and family is one way to do it. I just take like a little more like subtle tone with the amount of real estate content and just post, like Kenny said, just interesting stuff that people will engage with because they already know I'm a real estate agent. Right. I think one thing too with Kenny, like with his following being a little more national, like when myself as an agent and other people on this call as an agent, like you're posting with the goal of getting people to reach out to you about real estate. Like Kenny's doing the same thing, but he's doing it more on a national level because he gets he's known in the Bay Area. So, while I'm posting to my sphere and people around here to try to get referrals, Kenny's doing the same thing, but trying to do it so people, he has a huge following. So when people in Texas or Arizona or wherever have a referral for the Bay Area, they think of Kenny. So staying top of mind as an agent with a big team in the Bay Area helps him get referrals from all over the country. So it's like he's doing the same thing we're doing in our local markets, just on a bigger scale, but it's all the same strategies. It's just all about like engagement and keeping people interested.
Yeah,
like
it's just the messaging, right? John and many agents, my team, as you're starting off building your influence and your followers, you just know who you're speaking to. If I saw John right here, like he would appeal to someone that's really into family and home, I don't know, renovations, stuff like that. But my messaging, like the whole behind the scenes thing, no one cares that you're doing open house. So with that said, no one cares you're doing a house, but I'd be interested in how you prep for your open house. Like, did you buy things for it? How do you set up your signs? What your signs look like? What you print out? I think that stuff is a little more interesting than I have an open house. Well, 10 other agents today also posted an open house. Like why, how does you let me know you have an open house cater to me? But if it's your agent, if it's your client, oh yeah, I see that John's busy today. I see he's an activation. Great. But again, I think the preparation is key. And it's great you have a new listing, but they look at that, it's just you have a listing. Like, I don't know what that means. They said you have a listing. Like, people want to see how you prepped it, what's it going for, how do you price it, what the seller expectations, what's their story behind it, where they moving, why, and stuff like that. So you just gotta know your audience and cater your messaging to that. I personally almost get no clients. I can't remember no clients from Instagram directly because I don't really talk to clients on my Instagram. I talk to other agents. I talk about how we build our business, what we're doing, like that we have like 140 contracts this month, and this is how we did it. We did this last week. We're trying this new tool out. So for me, like a lot of my business, I probably get on average 10 to 15 referrals a month through Facebook and social media and Facebook groups and other people, because my messaging is talking to agents, and that's much larger scale. Because in any given market, I can't name one complete dominant agent on social media that gets their business from social media, because a really strong agent in our market might get 10 deals a year, right? Through social media, that's someone's entire business, which is great, but you're not going to get that much followers. So for me, I've always come from the angle of like helping other agents do more business, doing stuff like this, get myself in front of other agents to get referrals.
Yeah, I think the messaging is super important.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions on that. So like John, I follow John and I like the stuff that he posts, like this one right here that says you're on mute. Like, I just think he's so funny. He probably doesn't even, he's probably like any of his stories that he's posting, I'm just always replying back like, oh my God, this is cracking me up. So I do have a question on like what you guys think about the quality of the pictures that you're posting. Okay, so do you have a photographer that you're using, or how do you get like the really good quality, if you can help the agents out on that? Because it always looks like you have, it always looks like you have somebody taking pictures, you know.
Yeah, I think just being aware that like quality and composition like matters. It doesn't necessarily need to be like a professional photographer or something, but just like I mean, that one, I happen to have a couple friends that are professional photographers, so when they casually snap photos of me, they actually turn out great. So I'm lucky in that sense. But just being aware that like quality of photos really matters. And like this wasn't from a photo shoot that I did at my house. This was from a friend being over that like looked over and thought that looked cool and like took a photo of me. But not overthinking it. Like obviously we want quality photos, but like not overthinking it. Like I'm not going to post this photo because it's, you know, someone just took it from their phone. Just like take the extra time to make sure that, you know, the light's decent or the composition's decent, or it's not, you know, just like take an extra second. It's like a fine line between not overthinking the quality, but also paying attention to how something's going to look, and just keeping it consistent to where when you look at it all as a whole, there's like a theme with, I don't know what my theme is, but I feel like all my stuff looks coherent together. And like same with Kenny's, it's like, sometimes I won't post something that I'd like to because it'll just stand out. It won't quite like fit in. Like even that Zoom thing, like this doesn't quite like fit in, but I did it anyway. Just being aware of, you know, paying attention to what you post, but not overthinking it to where you don't post. Like done is better than perfect.
I see you guys do use the reels. Like go ahead and talk about that, because I see that you guys do stories and reels a lot more than posting the static pictures, right? The pictures that stay on your page. And
Kate on our team can cover that, because like
what's your interaction? Yeah, what's your guys' interaction like on that? Like share that with the agents on here.
Yeah, so I saw Kate jump on. I'll have her talk about reels in a minute, but just talking about stories and interaction, like I post stories way more often. And I mean, you know, when you've got something good because it like lights up your DMs and with people, and like it's like trying to post something that's gonna like, you know, get a reaction from someone, because also from the like Instagram algorithm, people, you know, if it sees people are reacting to your post, they're going to post it more. One thing too is like there's a bunch of great accounts out there that will like give you advice on, you know, the mechanics of like Instagram. Chelsea Pates is one of them. Following a couple accounts that are going to give you some of the more like technical, like, oh, if you do these things, prime the platform and go and like some comments before you post, things like that. But I definitely get a lot more engagement from stories, because I think most people spend more time these days scrolling through stories than they do scrolling through people's walls. It's a lot. It's just more engaging because that's where people are spending their time.
For the post, I have a comment on that. Instagram is actually in a couple countries like Brazil, they've actually moved away from, and I've seen locally too, they don't show the number of likes anymore on some posts. They want to move in a direction where people are less vain or narcissistic, like, oh, I'm only gonna post this because this picture looks really good and I think I'll get 1 million likes or something. So they're moving away from that, where they're not even exposing that. They just want your content to be original, to be personal, to be different. Like to you, they want people to actually like where any of us can get a good following. You don't need a ton of followers. You just need the people who really like you to in your circle to be follow your stuff, because we're not like mega influencers, and Instagram is shying away from that part. So as long as your pictures look good and you have like focus on writing really good copy, long copy, Instagram would detect that the person is looking at, they're literally reading your eyeballs, right? Okay, this person scrolled a little bit, stop for half a second, they're reading and reading. Okay, this is engaging. I'm gonna start showing more John's posts because this person seems to like reading that stuff. So I was just trying to make like really good content and don't focus on the number of likes. I've seen like, I have 11,000 people, whatever, but sometimes I post something, it's not that exciting, I get 200 likes. And my friends with 1,000 people, they get 500 likes when they have something. So think about that. Like they actually have a better audience than I do, because I have more of a mass audience that's less personal. And then they have people who actually engage with them way more.
Yeah, Instagram really, and that's why it's like an art and a science of leveraging the platform and getting Instagram to like it. But I'll see the difference even in stories. It's like if they're showing, if a bunch of people are reacting to it in the beginning, then I'm gonna have in the first 15 minutes, it might be like 100 people have watched it. Whereas something else, like I might post it and then first 15 minutes, like 15 people watch it, because Instagram is choosing who they show. And if they see people are reacting or holding down and reading, or just engaging with it in general, then they're going to show it more, and that's just going to like lead to more engagement. So understanding how the platform works a little bit, I think, is important. And so finding those accounts that kind of talk about some of the more technical side is pretty important. And that being said, Reels, the new thing is always what they want people using. So the more you're using the new things, the better chance that they're going to like share your content. So Reels is, the thing that, because it's like the TikTok equivalent, Instagram's really big on pushing Reels. So I still need to get on the Reel game. But if you are doing Reels, it's going to be good for your account overall. And I think if we can kick it over to Kate, she's still on our team, and she's been doing, is she still here? She's been doing really cool Reels and she's been really consistent with it. And I think consistency is key, but she's been doing these little 30-second day in the life of a Bay Area real estate agent. And it's literally one of my favorite things. Just, I follow a ton of real estate agents, so you get kind of jaded towards realtor content. And I told her the other day, like, I actually watch those 30-second day in the lives every time she posts them, because they're quick, they're funny, they're interesting. So Kate Hudson, you want to talk about how you use Reels?
Yeah, thanks, John. So I've always been pretty consistent on social media. I'm not like super good at actually posting on my actual like page. Oh, I didn't even know that posted right now. But I do Instagram like stories often, like once a day. And then like John was saying, once Reels became a thing, I actually saw some realtor in like Florida do a day in the life as a realtor on TikTok. And I was like, I really liked it. And so I was like, well, how do I implement that in my business? And I don't use TikTok often, but I use Instagram. So when I figured out you could do it on Instagram on a reel, I just Googled it, and it's actually quite easy to do. So these are just some of the ones that I do. And I've been posting pretty consistently for the last, I would say, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I just started doing this. So this is what I do.
Is it going to come through?
Let's see if it's going to.
They don't play back that good on Zoom, but I definitely encourage everyone to check out Kate's account and check out those Reels. I wanted Kate to jump in, not just because she uses Reels, but Kate is an agent that I think gets a good chunk of her business through Instagram. Like whenever we're in our meetings and people are talking about where they met a client, like I feel like with Kate, it's always like Instagram, like, or we started talking on Instagram. Kate, you want to talk a little bit just in general about how you get business through Instagram?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been a realtor for 8 years now, and this is Team Fast is my third company, and I've built a really good reputation with other agents in the community. So I get a lot of referrals from like outside agents that don't want to work in this area, and they always hit me up on Instagram because I'm always like in their face. So as far as that goes, I get a lot of agent referrals on Instagram for their clients that they don't want to service. And then I get a lot of clients from past clients. So I'm always adding my clients, and maybe you guys don't feel comfortable doing that, but I'm always adding my current clients and past clients to my Instagram if they have one. And then that way, like they're always seeing my story. So if they have like a friend or a family member that, you know, reaches out to them and says, hey, I want to purchase or I want to sell, I'm like always in their face. And so they're always reaching out to me on Instagram. Hey, my friend wants to buy, or, you know, my family member wants to sell. So that's just kind of how I've been running it.
I should go back a slide. That's kind of what I was describing earlier. Like Kate is prepping a listing. I think I'm reading her comments.
Yeah.
Like she's talking about staging and all that stuff. That like that's the stuff that clients don't care that. Yeah, you have the listing, great. Like, what does it mean? Like she's talking about behind the scenes, how she's feeling, how her clients are feeling. That stuff makes it a little more personalized and more memorable. Oh, she even showcased who her vendors are, which is probably gonna make her more attractive, and other agents will want to follow her for good real estate tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see that too. Mona, do you guys do like that, like kind of behind the scene or listing prepping, or like, hey, we're about to go do this inspection? I see that agents doing that a lot more too. Do you guys do that in your office, Mona?
So we advise our agents to do that. Yes. In fact, you know who's really good at this too, and I've just put his name out here too. And I know that Kenny was on with him as well, which is James Rembert. He's Zillow killer. He's absolutely amazing. And it's one of the things that, you know, we've gone over with him. Reels is a big thing. Like they really jumped on the whole TikTok thing, as Kate was saying. So definitely a really great advice is to go. And I love the day in the life. I think that that's amazing, because it really, you know, people don't understand all the work that's really involved with, you know, with agents. They just think, oh, you're just, you know, you're just doing this. But at the end of the day, there's a lot more to what we do. So I love that, Kate. That's amazing. Good job.
Thank you. I think it's also important to note too that like don't just talk about all the positive things. Like while it's great to talk about that, I think it's important for you to talk about things that are maybe not going your way, because that makes you more relatable, right? Like in real estate, it's not always going to be great. Like talk about the things that you're struggling with or your clients are struggling with. And like I get so many comments and people reaching out just being like, oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. So don't feel like you have to be perfect to post, just post.
Yes, I think that's great advice. Good, bad, ugly. It's part of the business. And, you know, they all want to know how we earn those commissions after all, since they like, you know, a lot of clients tend to have a tendency to want a discount. I think you can show them, hey, you know, this is the work that's really involved. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's something we encourage.
Do you guys, what do you suggest on using a separate account? Like Kate, you said that you invite all of your clients to get onto your Instagram account. Like, would you suggest having separate accounts for like a personal account and then one for real estate, or you're okay with just having one Instagram account and putting everything up there?
I would recommend one. I think people get caught up in the fact that like, oh, you have to be uber professional, which is important, right? You want to be professional, but at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? We're all people. And I think the more you can connect with people, good or bad, it's going to grow your business. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself. I mean, you are who you are, right? And there are going to be people that like you and want to work with you, and there's going to be people that don't, and that's okay. So I think having one account to showcase like who you are as a person outside of real estate is huge.
Yeah, I would say that eventually they got to know who you are anyway, right? Because they're gonna meet you. So if you're going to be fake about it and then they find out, then they're not going to feel like they can trust you. So, you know, getting to know you is the first thing, and your imperfection is your fingerprint, in my opinion.
Yeah,
sorry,
I think
Don, go ahead.
being authentic. No, that's great. I think just being authentic. If you're, you know, if you try to think about some of the key things that you apply to just your social media game in general, like being consistent is super important, and then just being authentic. And obviously, it's going to be like a curated portion that's authentic, but still, like staying true to who you are and having showcasing your personality. And like, back to your question, Virginia, like, we encourage pretty much everybody, because that question always comes up when people like, should I have it? And I went through a phase, like, maybe I'll, I want to post more real estate content, maybe I'll do a separate account. But I think in almost every situation, unless you have some like crazy secret life going on, I think in almost every situation, having one account and mixing just your business and your personal is going to be way more successful, because you're going to be more authentic when you have a mixed account. Where if you just have this business account and that's what you're using to drive business, it's not going to show who you are nearly as much. And you've already built a following and with people that like and trust you. So like, merging them with your business, I think it's really rare that there's a situation where having two separate accounts is like super beneficial. Like, Kenny, what do you
with
think?
the second account, it's not very interesting to see a page. It's just full of listings and reviews. It doesn't really relate to the person. But with that said, I can't even think of one right now. I'm sure there's got very few more. Kenneth I think he's probably doing over $100 million this year in business with Compass. He has your East Bay home, but he runs ads on there. He does a lot of off-market property. His properties look amazing. So he's using that strictly to promote listings, which is a little different than trying to get people. And the following on there is pretty small, but he has a different intention with that. I have very, very rarely have I seen agents successfully run the second account, because people want to work with you. Like, you realize we're marketing ourselves. Real estate is a service that you provide, which is a byproduct of yourself. If people don't like you, they're not going to hire real estate services unless you have crazy stats. You've been in this business for, you have really big numbers. You've been doing this for a long time. Your name's out there in the marketplace. So a lot of the mega top teams probably don't have like much of a personal account, but they built that over time. But now, as a newer or an experienced current agent trying to build their business from a social platform, you need to be authentic. People are following you, and then they like you, and then you build your you do real estate. Like, if you notice that, like, so we have a team of 150 plus. Like, I think less than 10 people on our team has a website. Your Instagram and your social profiles are your websites, not just your LinkedIn. LinkedIn is pretty boring. So when people look you up, you could be a very successful buyer's agent doing 10, 20, 30 deals a year without a website. Because then when people find you, they like you. The three things, right? They like you, trust you, and think you're you know what you're doing. They'll hire you. For buyers, way easier. It's when you start getting to working with sellers, like, what have you sold, how much, how long you've been doing, what you're gonna do for me. That's when maybe your page is to showcase, like Kenneth example, showcase what you do for your listings and what you sell and all that. But most agents aren't quite there yet, and then doesn't mean you can't blend them two together. But most agents are building their businesses. You're not, mega top producer, so you need to be more personal, and people can work with you. And then later, the seller's gonna be piece like way easier. They trust you, they work with you, they like you, they see you're competent. They'll just, hey, I need to sell my house. They're not even at that point. They're interviewing you, but they're not drilling you. They're not interviewing other agents. So you need to build up your business through social in the more like, casual way than just having a hardcore page is all business stuff.
I think too, Kenny, and John, talking about that really is just creating intimacy, right? Intimacy with your audience. And I think that is the number one key. And you're not going to attract everybody, but those that, really kind of get who you are, that's your audience. Those are the people that you're going to create that intimacy with. Yeah,
business intimacy. I heard that word a lot from one of the coaches I've been learning from recently. Again, the social media is connection, is engagement. You're posting something cool, great for you. Like, what does that do for me? Like, you want to have something to talk about. It's like for me, a successful day on Instagram is being able to have different conversations with, ideally for me, I've been doing this a while. Like, I talk to about 100 different people a day on average, but quick one messages here and there. And, you post interesting stuff that's not going to appeal to everyone, but hopefully as you're posting multiple things throughout the day, something appeals to different people.
I would say jump on Reels, particularly if, Instagram, but Reels is absolutely amazing because that's really the hot ticket right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I need to do videos. I hate being in my videos. Like, I need to find a way to do it without showing my face. And I mean, I think that's something too, like, and maybe Kenny can speak to, because I think a lot of people are hesitant, like myself, to turn the camera around and show themselves. I know Kenny's talked about how, it was the kind of a turning point for him. He didn't want to, and then once he started doing it, he just got a lot more comfortable. Like, you want to talk about showing your face and being on video, Kenny?
Yeah, like I mean, this is how you look. I'm sure if you don't like how you look, I'm sorry, you got an appointment. This is still how you look. It's kind of the very, I remember like a couple years ago, my friends, like Jerry Beverly, Pierre Lang, like newer agents, and they're really successful on social media. I was like, no, I've been the kind of the techie guy, forward thinking. I was like, there's no way I can like these newer people do something, and I don't do it. And one day just decided to just jump in front of the camera and just, that was it. Just flipped it on. I had some pretty interesting content today. You had an open house. There's a, like, this sounds stupid. This is why it works. There's a box of noodles on the ground. Look, there's some garlic noodles on the ground. It's like, this is stupid. This is on the street in front of my listing. I didn't say this is my noodles listing. I said this is my noodles listing, and there's some garlic noodles on the ground. And went to a bar, and then some stranger, I mean, it's all kinds of random stuff, but it's the random stuff that people can't see anywhere else that's interesting. It might seem mundane, but it happened to you. You didn't see a box of noodles on the ground. Like, it's so stupid. It's so simple. But then as you're going out your day, you're recording different things that people don't normally see. I can see 10 new listings right now. I just go on Redfin. Like, why do I care that you have a new listing? You know, good for you. So, you know, just getting in front of the camera, being comfortable on that. And maybe if you're so shy, participate with someone else in your office. If you watch our team thing, we repost the heck out of each other. Some people don't like being on camera. We record them anyway. They'll repost it, and then they start getting responses on those, and they get, oh, this is pretty cool. So like a lot of it is a group effort too. So if you're working in your office, maybe there's some funny conversation, like capturing those moments which are unexpected or unprepared is key. You know, I remember last time I walked with Melody, or walked with a couple of people on my team. All of a sudden they got an offer accepted. They called their clients, like, hold on. And I immediately, or I don't even tell them, I just recorded them on the spot. They're calling their client, congratulating them. So that was unrehearsed. Like that's kind of stuff that people really appreciate. I'm sure you guys have seen people, hey, I'm calling my client, but it's a little different because they know they're in camera, but you're getting something in the heat of the moment. So like create moments that you can't replicate and you think could be interesting and entertaining or valuable to someone else. And that's when you start really getting a following. For me, another thing I do too is I post referrals, not just my referral. My friend is looking for a referral. I remember like locally, Roger Lopez does a lot of business. He's looking for a referral in Modesto or something for a Spanish speaker. I posted it, and then boom, like someone hit me up and I hit them up. So on my website, I always look for referrals. I always post referrals that I have. I always post other referrals other people have. I always post to other people's off-market properties. So because of that, I build a following too. Because if someone doesn't follow me, they might miss a referral for themselves. So you're creating different reasons why people want to follow you, because it's of true benefit to them.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to have fun with it.
And it's be fun. You really need to enjoy it.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be fun, but make it fun.
Hey guys, I got a question. Okay, so we know the highs of doing all this Instagram and getting out there and getting in front of people, and you want to be public, and because you want to expand. But how are you guys protecting yourself on a safety issue by going public? My reason for this question is just last week alone, I had 4 people reached out to me. Hey, how are you? And it wasn't related to real estate or anything else like that. And so you know when to ignore those. So you just ignore it. Next thing you know, I'm getting like FaceTime videos, but coming through Instagram, trying to reach out and contact. So now I blocked that caller. And then just 2 days ago, I got an email stating that somebody has been trying to hack into, sorry, you're having problems getting into your Instagram account. So now I've had 2 people try to hack into my Instagram account. I had 4 people reach out trying to, hey, how are you? And then I had 2 other people do a video call. So now I went ahead and I blocked them. I went back to private. What do you guys suggest to do in making sure that the people that, how do you protect yourself in that way?
Those are normal situations. So I don't really have any information for you on that. And then sometimes, hey, hours are bots. I'm guessing the ones you're talking to aren't bots. So I don't have, maybe Kate has some insight. I feel like that's probably something that happens to women much more frequently than men. So I don't have like any good feedback for you.
I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly. Like, are you worried because people are hacking into your account? Or are you worried that like if you're posting somewhere where that person knows your location, that's what you're worried about?
That's a good question. So yeah, I guess it would be location, and I don't need them finding me, and I'm not trying to be pursued. My Instagram's not about that. And it's just how do you keep the unnecessary hackers away? And is there a security setting other than going private, having a private account?
I think it's important that if you are going to do like a location, to do it after you leave that location. Like I never post like, hey, I'm here right now. The only time that like that could potentially be a problem is if I'm like, hey, I'm hosting an open house, right, from 1 to 4. But I rarely do open houses by myself. I usually always have someone with me. As far as like hacking into your account and having like creepy people come into your account, I really don't think there's anything much you can do about that, unfortunately. Unless you go private. But for most part, like on Instagram, even if your account is public, if someone that you don't know is trying to send you a message, it goes into a separate folder that you have to accept that message. So I just decline. I just decline.
Right. Yeah. And I do. And I decline those, but I just wanted to know if there's any other way other than ignoring it. And then the fact that somebody did try to hack into my account just 2 days ago.
I think that's
I just went back to private until I understand this whole thing better.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stop someone from hacking you because you have really no way to control that. It's just them typing your username twice and I don't know, them trying to get in.
I think that it's kind of the occupational hazard as well. It's kind of part of the gig. You know, if you're going to put yourself out there, then we're kind of vulnerable in those spots. And there really isn't much of a netting to really help out with that. It's just going to be kind of individualistic. I know I get at least 10 notices a day that somebody's hacking into some account. I'm like, well, okay. So, you know, it's just one of those things, Jody, when you put yourself out there, you know, well, you've spotlighted. You're kind of a little bit of your own celebrity.
Yeah,
That's not the kind of celebrity. Yeah.
I know. Celebrities don't like it either, right? But it's kind of just goes with it, right?
Yeah, no, I just didn't know if there's some other kind of, if there's a certain setting or whatnot, but okay. It's either private or public and nothing in between.
Just start posting ugly pictures of yourself. That's impossible.
Oh my God, I love you.
Pot, you know?
I love you, Cynthia. Oh my God.
I love you, Jody.
Well, thanks, guys. Sorry if that was a silly question, but it was a question.
Yeah,
For Instagram, wait, sorry.
No, I was just saying, I agree with Kate. I normally don't post. If I post a picture or say I'm somewhere, it's usually like after I've already left that place.
And like another way I'm getting a lot of like referrals from other agents is I go to a lot of conferences. I've been to a couple just in the last couple months. I take pages and pages of notes, and then I always post who wants these notes. So this also creates a lot of engagement from other agents because again, my conversation is to other agents and team leaders. So if I went to the Tom Ferry Summit, if I went to I went to the leadership summit in Vegas at Coach Sheplack's house. So every time I have really cool notes, I post it and then I'll ask who needs it, and it kind of creates engagement. So people are kind of thanking me. And then last week, giving an example, I'm on the Friday mastermind with some other agents, and Carolyn Young, she's a Zillow Flex team. She has 100% appointment rate, which is crazy on Zillow Flex. So after I recorded her doing her script on camera, like on Zoom call like this, posted, and people were like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then she volunteered to do a Friday training at 9 o'clock. So I was like, who wants to link to this meeting? I have 40 people hit me up, immediately want to link. And then she ended up canceling, but that's not the point. But I try to provide value to these, to those agents. And then so happened, I had to message them when they cancel it. And then on Tuesday, I spoke for Zillow, like 130 people came up. It was about recruiting for a team for Zillow. And I sent that link out. So it's always like trying to find ways to give actual things that can increase other people's business. And that's why they will follow you. And then that really keeps you on top of mind for referrals too. I know this is about Instagram, but on Facebook, I'm in a bunch of different groups. Like, you know, I'm sure we're on Lab Coats, and I'm in some EXP groups or some overall Facebook referral groups. Every single time that a referral pops up to someone I know, whether it's in Houston or Dallas or Florida or Texas, or Denver, I'll immediately screenshot that and text or DM someone on Instagram. Hey, I usually talk to them on Instagram, like, hey, you need to call this person right away. And then I suggested I send a video text. So I'm always on the hunt every single day for referrals, not just for myself. So you can imagine that when someone sees a referral on one of these groups, or their friend or someone looking for someone, like I connected someone in San Diego to someone in Louisville yesterday. That's super random. It's like, I need someone. That's like, I got the perfect person for you. And I connected to the #1 team in Louisville, which I'm actually having lunch with them in San Francisco this Sunday. But you use Instagram as a tool to like tie people together. I think the 7 levels of communication or something where, or be the connector in your world. So like I'm always not looking out for my best interest, but I'm trying to find ways like every single day, how do I help someone else in their business while I'm kind of hanging out and having fun on social media. And that is what will create engagement for you. And that's what keeps you on top of mind. So when other people have referrals, they usually think of me for my area, just because I talk to them the most out of the entire people in the Bay Area. To someone in Minnesota or Louisville, I'm the person that talks to them. So anything within, I guess, Northern California, I might be more so top of mind, and then I've already helped them. So it's depositing in your business equity account. Like between me and you, like this, like I'm here building a rapport with you guys. Hopefully I brought some value, and then hopefully something, someone needs something in Oakland or San Francisco or not, maybe a little further for some people here, you might think of us first, and so on. So you just got to constantly realize that you have, this is a little different, like 5 levels of leadership, but every single person you talk to, you have a different level of rapport. How do you on a one-on-one basis build that rapport? This is like a one-to-all conversation. Like I haven't met most people on here, but then how do I help you out and then take this and have conversations individually as we're progressing on Instagram or Facebook?
And you can take that and like apply it to, maybe not you don't have like a national real estate agent following, and you're not going to use those principles to try to get referrals from some other part of the country, but you can apply that to like your community. If you see someone posting like, hey, I'm looking for, I can't even think of examples, but like anytime you can connect people in your community, through stuff that you're seeing on Instagram, or using your Instagram following to boost somebody else, even if they don't do, if you share somebody that posted, like there was an agent looking to give away his Xbox to like a young gamer yesterday.
Oh yeah, that happened yesterday.
Kenny shared that, like, even though if that never helped, if that doesn't do anything, the fact that like Kenny shared this agent who's not on our team or anything, but just shared this, like, hey, this guy's doing something cool, trying to give away his Xbox to a kid that needs it. I'm going to share this. Like those things will like build that equity and those relationships. So
I just tagged Adrian. I met him once, like, hey, Adrian's giving away Xbox. You know any young gamers that want it? And then drive traffic to that. And I just remember Joe, there's a restaurant called Joe's Thai Food. I'm really excited about that. In Oakland, they had a grand opening, but they had a soft opening last week. So I've been soft promoting this company. I don't even know the owner, but I know my friend knows the owner, and they're somehow related. So I've been talking, and agent in May say Chow. She does a lot of business in Brentwood area. She's with Compass. But she's been promoting. I've been talking to her because I love Thai food, and I've tried every spot locally. So I've been talking to her about that a lot. Like, and she invited me to the soft opening. I was super excited to go. I knew if I went, I would get to post about that. But then I didn't get to go. The timing didn't work out. But then I know they're open today, so I've been promoting that. So like, how do you promote other, like, because not everyone has a lot of influence. The whole point is like your Instagram should be, you're building a tribe, right? Everyone's the leader of your tribe. You just play a different part of that group. How do you constantly promote your friend's stuff? So in return, they'll promote yourself, but it's not like 1-for-1, and we're not here to gain anything. It's just fun. You're literally helping people. The more you help, the more you get. So anything in your community is a huge thing. Like we donated backpacks last year, and I went on social media like, hey, last year, 2 years ago, we donated 7,000 backpacks. I didn't pay for backpacks. We just brought out 20 people and recorded. Like, who wants to help volunteer? Like, we're looking for people for this event, and so on. So again, you're just trying to find ways to be a part of people's lives and add value to them, and they'll add value back to you. And then as your tribe grows, more opportunities.
I think you're talking too about really bridging, it sounds like, right? Bridging gaps and really bringing people together through the bridge. And I think that that's really important, that you're active in not just your community, but in other communities, like Kenny was talking about. As you join the different groups, there's great ways to bridge those gaps just within those groups alone. And that, I will tell you, I have a few agents who belong to different groups who attain a lot of business from that, because they don't have to talk about real estate. They're doing other things. And it's really, again, it creates that intimacy with other people.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I know Kate just messaged and let everybody know she had to run for a meeting. And but if anybody had any questions about how to make the reels, she put her Instagram handle on there, which is Kate.
Oh, Kate's is it confirmed, John? Is she teaching a class on how to do reels on Zoom on Friday?
Oh yeah, she might be teaching. I don't know if it's on Friday, but Virginia, if we have a reels class, I'll send you the info.
Yeah, let me know. I know I've been seeing
the lives because they're cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. And I kind of like have been seeing a lot of stuff on TikTok and how people are making them like really cool.
Check out
matchup-
Christina Darrow. She's a new agent on our team. She has really cool reels. She's gonna blow up. She's gonna be one of our best agents. Her social media content is really, really good. And she said that I think her younger sister,
Yeah, she like hired some 17-year-old to help her with reels, and she has great or TikTok
$20.
Yeah,
It's-
she hired someone's younger sister to like help with TikTok, and now she has all this great TikTok content that you can also use on Instagram. So
I mentioned that earlier. Hire some of the youth, boys. Hire the youth. They can use the money and they know what they're doing. Let me tell you.
yeah.
I have never made a reels before. I've never made TikTok. I mean, I'm a millennial, but I feel like this newer stuff, like I don't have
They're
the time for it.
different.
And I feel like many of you guys probably feel the same way. But hire someone else to do it. For this someone's sister is charging $20 to do a reel, and then they're getting like 30, 40 comments. That's definitely worth it, right? There's one conversation and one referral will probably pay for 1,000 reels.
Yep. Oh, it's amazing. Yes, I most certainly agree with that. Hence why I have the 23-year-old manning the shop.
Yeah, Tina made a good comment, and she said maybe we can all follow each other on IG. So if you guys would, everybody just go ahead and post your Instagram handle on the chat, and that way we can all do that. And
hey, Virginia, real quick, I wanted to know from the guys, because I know I was on James's class a few months ago, but there is an actual website you can go on to get like good hashtag names, like good hashtags. Do you guys remember, John or Kenny, what that website is? You can go, it's an app or something. You can go on and just, check out the popular hashtags for some good ones.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's also recommended to not put a lot. This is recommended to not put a lot of hashtags in your original copy. Yeah, but put it later. So I'm not really experienced with like posts.
Yeah, his was, so that it doesn't get jam packed. You just pick a couple, and it was really good. So that way just creates, I don't know. It was really good. Unfortunately, I have it in my notes. That's not with me.
I know that putting too many hashtags too will like hurt your posts, because Instagram
Yeah, no, the algorithms don't like it.
Having a couple of unique ones that you consistently use is better than just like hashtag everything that you can think of that's related to the post, because that's going to end up hurting it.
Yep, agreed. Not too many.
So we've been all over the place, Virginia and Mona, but we have 10 minutes left. I hope that was valuable.
Love that.
Any other questions or things you want to try to cover in the last 10 minutes?
No, I just think
it's my style, ADD, I'm all with it.
Do any of you guys have any questions for the panel? Go ahead and unmute yourself, or. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and I like that idea about following each other on Instagram, and then John, when you get a chance and you find out about the Reels class, just shoot it over to me, and then we'll make sure we get it out to everybody as well.
Totally. Yeah, we'll do. We try to do a lot of stuff we do. I mean, obviously we had to do everything, and we still kind of have to do most things on Zoom, but it's nice because then it opens it up to, you don't have to drive out to wherever, and we can record stuff. So any social media trainings or anything we do, I'll send it to you.
All right. Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think that covers a lot. Yeah, the Reels thing is probably going to be the next big thing.
Do it. And follow Kyle Draper. He's amazing. He talks about how to get comfortable in video. He's not a realtor, but he works with realtors. Try to follow him or go on his Facebook page. He's really good, and he will give you some things to make you feel better about being on video. I'm sure these guys have heard of Kyle Draper.
Yeah, I think also Jason Patana has really good tips. He's the social media or marketing guy trainer for Tom Ferry. So he has just overall step-by-step content a lot of time.
Yep. You guys got some good names today. Take some notes and go handle it.
Yeah.
Great job, Virginia, putting everybody together. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Virginia.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Nice to see you. I missed you this past Tuesday.
I'll make it out there more soon.
And by the way, hi, John. I've been waiting to say hi. Long time no see.
Everybody on this call, I got to get out there. The Tuesday marketing meetings are back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
We'll get
all of them are back.
All three.
John's been busy. John's busy setting up all kinds of stuff. He's all over.
Yeah, he is.
But no, we'll spend some more time out there for sure.
He's bringing in the cash flow.
Yeah. Is anyone on this? Like, we're looking for sponsorship stuff too for like East County, like for the marketing meetings or Delta Association. I know I mentioned Virginia, but let us know if there's anything good coming up that we might be able to sponsor.
For sure. Yeah. We have some stuff coming up with Women's Council and DAR. So yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch. But yeah, does everybody put your guys' handles on here in the group chat? That way we can follow each other. I think that would be
Thank
awesome.
you, Kenny. Thank your team.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Our moderators today, I really appreciate that. And if you have feedback on the class, please send it to info@deltaaor.com. We'd love to get your feedback, you know, what we did great, what we can improve on, what you need next. And we're going to try to bring you the best that we can. And our brokers, our managers being involved is really vital to that. So thank you again, Mona and Virginia. Really, really appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. It was an honor. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
now.
See you
Bye,
later.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Bye, John.